Now, just right off the bat to remind you guys, we do have a couple of pets, so one thing that we're going to want to rule out if anybody sees anything unusual, of course, first is that it's not Bullet or Alien. It's the cat or the dog. So let me just sneak around here.
It's a tight squeeze.
It is a tight squeeze. All right. Speaking of, I'll be back momentarily.
So, I know none of you are in here yet, but just so if you're watching this in the future, we posted about this yesterday and the day before, and we are attempting to make contact and communicate with the entity or whatever it may be that has been connecting to Tobias since his childhood.
Yeah, that is accurate. We figured, I've had some activity in the house here, and so it felt right with the timing, of course, as far as the activity that I've experienced, and also, it's the dead of winter right now, and we've been cooped up for some time, and so it just it made a certain amount of sense to us to go ahead and try this experiment. I think that we were sort of in a place personally where we felt really comfortable doing it, and so that's just sort of the part of our journey that we're on right now. So we'll go ahead and get started. Now,
we've got some different tools with us. I will be doing just a tarot pull really quickly before to just kind of read the room. I did this for our little live investigation we did last March, and that's one of the, if you're looking to use tarot in a paranormal investigation, one of the best ways to use it is to do like a one card reading before you get started and simply just see what it says. So like you can ask the cards like, what will I expect? And you don't even have to ask anything really, because it can just give you a general vibe. You could also ask, who will I make contact with? Just remember to keep your questions very general, as I mentioned during our foundations class, whatever, in the tarot group in January. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these guys. I'm using the Rider-Waite deck, which is the most classic tarot deck that exists out there. It's been out since 1909.
Yeah, you might see me taking some notes here. I've got a list of questions and sort of the outline for our experiment written down. And so sort of as things happen, or as the experiment progresses, what I want to do is just jot some notes down. I mean, that's part of being an investigator. We want to document our own experience as much as possible. To that end, actually, you can't see it, but on the far end of our apartment, back there in the darkness, I actually have an IR camera set up facing this way. So anything that happens behind us or in any other spot of the house here, we should have a pretty good shot of capturing that. It's a straight shot between this doorway and then literally all the way across the entire floor of this house. I've got a camera over there that can see into this room. So
I just shuffled the deck and I cut it and I just pulled the card from the top, and you won't be able to see it. I'm trying to.
Oh, they can see it from there.
Okay, I'm trying to see. There's a delay on the feed, so I'm trying to see what my view looks like. Okay. So we have pulled the King of Wands, and if you are familiar with tarot at all, or if you're familiar with the magic group, the suit of wands is in the minor arcana, and the wands has to deal with our action. And the king typically is a very, like, it's like an authority figure. It's very, it means like, sorry, I'm like having trouble like on camera here. It's very, authoritative. It represents stability. Everything you think of a general like father or kingly regal.
So it's a king, so you think like a monarch. You think of somebody who is regal, in control, in charge,
and
a leader.
Right. And so the suit of wands is like our actions, our manifestations, our intentions.
Okay, so how does the king then, how does that aspect of the leader, the monarch, the patriarch, if you will, relate then to action?
I would say that it kind of can mean a couple things in the context with this. To me, it's saying that you're in control, you're in charge, this is your domain. What you intend is what you can bring to what you are trying to get with your outcome.
Okay, so sort of my intention, like your interpretation, that would be my intention is sort of driving the narrative here.
Right. So he's taking a note
Could
there.
it also be that card represents something else, though? Could the phenomenon, the other, be the authority figure driving the action?
It could be, and that's kind of like how tarot works, right? It's up to your interpretation and your instinct.
Mm.
My instinct is that you are trying to connect with this entity, and I'm doing this reading kind of for you and for us. Mm. And so that's why I put you in the position of the king in this particular situation.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, for my part, what I would like to do is, I've created this bind rune. I actually created it some time ago. I've affixed it, not on this one. I have actually affixed it to our other spirit box.
That's the cat.
Okay. But basically, I've designed this bind rune to sort of create a protected connection to the other world. If you're not familiar with bind runes, basically, like, they have nothing to do with binding anything. It's not for binding spirits or anything like that. The whole point of bind runes actually is to combine runes to form a single rune that then represents a combination of all of those particular runes' meanings. And so you can, you're not really just limited by the runic alphabet as far as what you're able to produce with runes, like in the ways that you can use them. You can actually combine them, limited only by your creativity, frankly, into all kinds of new shapes and meanings. And so the traditional color for that is ochre red. And so that's what I always like to use, is actually the same color that I've painted my personal runes that are carved into my bone rune set.
Out of curiosity, do you know what kind of bone your runes are carved into?
I believe it's cattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Oh, no, that's fine. Not that that's particularly relevant, although I will say that cattle does have a certain relevance to Germanic culture, in that cattle literally represented wealth for a long, long time. People didn't really use money. If you think back to even as recently as Anglo-Saxon England, people didn't really have money. Sometimes people, like a king, might have some jewelry or something, like his own particular treasure, but by and large, a person's wealth was determined by the actual useful items that they owned, often livestock. So if you had a lot of cattle, you were a very wealthy person. So that's an interesting connection there. Now, what I want to do actually is combine some of this pure Wisconsin honey with the ochre that I'm going to use for this bind rune. And the reason for that is honey is actually a traditional offering for spirits of all kinds, specifically fairies, household spirits, those kinds of the other. And so my intention there is to sort of create or reinforce the connection then between this bind rune and the other using this traditional offering. And so I want to just put a little bit, scoop it out here.
No, it's Kaylee.
Oh, awesome.
I don't know how. Sorry, I didn't even see your hey guys there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my phone is all the way across the room there, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to see anybody type anything during this. Emily's going to keep an eye on it for a while until we really get going, in which case we might not be able to check it super frequently, but I will definitely take some time afterwards and sort of check in with everybody and chat for a minute. So
yeah, and I hope you're doing. Of course, the animals are playing right now.
Yeah, well, the best thing you can do is.
I hope you're doing well in the craziness of your state, Kaylee. Hang in there. And hey, Aubrey. I can tell you kind of briefly what we just did, Aubrey. We explained that we are trying to contact whatever entity has been contacting Tobias since his childhood. And I did a quick tarot reading to just kind of read the room, and I pulled the video cutout. No worries, Aubrey. The reception in this room is kind of terrible. We usually have to turn our Wi-Fi off in order to.
Is there a problem with the feed?
I'm trying to figure that out. She said the video cut out, but like I'm still seeing it live. No, yeah. So anyways, Aubrey, I did a quick tarot reading to read the room, and it was the King of Wands. Okay, sounds good, Aubrey. And the King of Wands, we just, as you know, the King is like a very regal leader. You can also see a king as kind of like a fatherly, authoritative, stable figure, nobility, that kind of thing. And then the Wands is obviously our intentions, our manifestations, and those kind of actions. Oh, that's okay, Kaylee, don't worry about that. So we were explaining before that I kind of interpreted it as like Tobias is the king, and since he is trying to make contact with this figure, he is in control. And what he is attempting to do here is like what results is like what he puts into it. So yeah, he is painting is it a bind rune?
A bind rune, actually.
I accidentally said rune.
No, that's okay. It's a bind rune, and what that is, I did explain it before, but I don't know if you guys were here to hear it.
I don't think Aubrey heard.
That's okay. I'll just go over it again quickly. Once this is done too, we will be downloading all of the footage and combining it into a video. So if anybody needs to go back and watch it again, like that'll be fine too. But basically, what a bind rune is a combination of runes that allows sort of for the meaning of those runes to be combined in a new and original way. And so what I put together is a combination of runes that I believe creates an environment conducive to the protected connection to the other world, or creating this protected connection rather. And what I'm doing currently is painting that bind rune onto this piece of paper that we have here. And what I've done is I'm painting it in red ochre, which is the traditional color of the runes. And I've combined some of this honey, which is locally sourced organic honey, in with the red ochre. And the reasoning, or my reasoning for that, is because honey itself is a traditional offering. And so my thinking then was that by combining this traditional offering with the red ochre, that will make this bind rune even more conducive to connecting with the other world.
And if you're hearing scampering, Aubrey, it's pets. We'll let you know if we hear anything that isn't them. But of course they have to be wild right as this is going on, because that's how that works currently.
True. Okay. And here we are. So, with that in place, we're ready to begin.
How's the cat? And let us know if you can't see anything we show or something. And if, Aubrey, this is the spirit box, which you might already know about, but we have that here too.
We invite you here to speak of your own free will and ours.
Just like that.
Now, I don't need to ask if you're here, because you're always here. So what I want to ask instead is, what do you want?
Favorite what?
ask you again, what do you want? Don't mumble. We need you to speak clearly. What have you wanted with me my entire life? Okay, how about who are you? Why do you so often visit when people are sleeping? Yeah. Okay, so when I asked why do you so often visit when people are sleeping, you said no, and then you growled. Why? Is it because it's not true? Or you don't want to tell us? I heard it's not. So it's not true that you so often visit when we're sleeping. This thought just gave me chills. When you visit, does that mean that I'm often awake and I don't remember it? So assuming I'm often awake and I don't remember it, why? The times that I do remember, I've often felt like I've been interrupting something. What was I interrupting? Is this an experiment? we an experiment? Thought I heard deep thoughts come through.
And if you guys hear anything, comment.
Were you responsible for moving our door last night during our meetup with our society members?
Yeah. Very like line, yeah. That's how you hear.
What's that?
But I said heard, yeah, here.
Was that because we were talking about the connections between various experiences with witnesses with whom I've spoken? If so, why would that cause you or motivate you to do something so seemingly innocuous and strange? Yet strange. Did you hear that? Moves over there.
Cat?
It sounded like it came from right behind me.
The
I heard it. Well, it might be the cat playing with something.
okay. She went right there.
Okay. Well, she was under the table, so maybe that was her. That was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it was her, but it's possible it was her. Okay. Before that happened, I heard when basically asking why would you move the door, I heard to be godlike. Now that seems like awfully strange behavior and not particularly impressive. So could you explain that a little bit more? Like, in what way is that godlike?
I like that cow.
Who are you and what do you want?
I know.
I know. What do you know? What do you know?
That was weird.
That both of you? Is that what you heard?
Haley also said she's been hearing an unintelligible female voice. And that's what I've heard that too.
What about both of us? What about both of us?
Do you mean that there are two of you?
That was no.
That was no.
Then what do you mean?
Something good.
You once told me, we are you. What does that mean? Why did you just repeat back, what does it mean? There's a fact. So it's a fact that you are us. That still doesn't tell me what that means. We are people. Well, that's reassuring. We are also people.
You're a boy.
That was weird.
Okay. So some of that was me.
Okay.
Might be done answering that one. What is it? So, yeah, when I asked, what does we are you mean? I heard back, what does that mean? Just repeating my question. And in fact, and then we are people. So I have to suspect when I asked, we are you probably didn't want to answer that because when I asked, who are you, rather, you probably didn't want to answer that because you've already said. Can we circle back to what do you want? What is the point? Looking to what? What are you looking to do or see?
Can you be a little clearer, please?
Finish the sentence. Looking to. Let's say talk. Did you say looking to talk? Looking to. What are you looking for or to do? What do you want with me and the other people you have observed? I've talked to a lot of other people who have had experiences similar to mine. I know I'm not the only person who has experienced this. What do you want with them?
I thought I heard free mind.
Ooh, that gave me chills. Okay.
Free-minded?
Yeah. Now, I've mentioned one of the common denominators I've found in these nighttime visitation cases is that the witnesses will often report unrelated psychic phenomena. Myself included. I've never made a big deal out of it because
Yeah.
it's personal and it's not really that exciting, frankly.
Yeah.
So, being interested in freeing minds, and one of the things I thought about was maybe either the psychic phenomena being an unintentional result or a deliberate result or something worth observing for whatever reason. So, what do you hope to accomplish? What's the point of all this? What will freeing our minds do? I swear I heard love you. So you're trying to free our minds because we are you? You're here to say what? What did it mean when we were told the purpose of the things we've seen in the Kettle Moraine State Forest was to probe?
Were you in the Kettle Moraine State Forest at any time?
What did that mean?
Like acid? For one.
For one?
What's special about the kettle? What's special about the Kettle Moraine State Forest?
Keep watching, Kaylee. She was saying she heard a definite bang behind her. I'm not sure if I should keep watching or if something is coming through.
Where she is?
And before that, she mentioned she has a headset on.
She had something.
Generation.
What's special about the Kettle Moraine State Forest? I heard it's looking and the path for humanity. What's special about it? What's in there? What's in that forest? What's in the Kettle Moraine State Forest? Okay, I guess that's meant to be a secret, at least for now. Why is that a secret? Why can't we know? Why can't we know? That seemed to, yeah, well, it seemed to, I don't know, strike a nerve, I guess. I don't know how else to put it.
Are you still here?
Answer one of our other questions if you still want to talk. If you still want to talk, tell us what's in the Kettle Moraine State Forest. I heard everything, like right away when I asked that. Everything is in there, that's helpful.
The sound? No. I don't think we heard that, Kaylee.
What?
She heard a sound. She asked if it was on our side.
Like outside of the spirit box?
Outside of our session room, it's by her. I think she means. Is that what you mean, Kaylee?
Do you have any more questions?
Who are you?
I heard that again. I mean, that's sort of asked and answered at this point. I mean, I think as far as we're going to get our answer anyway. What's the relationship between consciousness and what people think of as the paranormal? Business. into it. Consciousness allows us to intuit the paranormal. I don't know what that would have been in response. All right. Do you have any final questions here? It's okay, either way. Okay. Okay.
I
think that's about all we're going to get at this point, frankly. Okay. Well, our time with you is done. You must now leave with our thanks. I'm gonna grab the camera from over here real quick since I don't need it shooting over there anymore. Okay, well that was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go through everything we thought we heard. So, we sort of began with, why have you visited me at night? Didn't really get much in response to that. My notes are kind of all over the place too, because I asked questions other than the ones I had written down here.
That'll happen.
Of course. Why do you so often visit when sleeping? That was just no. What do you want? Looking to free mind. I know that both of you. So freeing minds, I guess. And like I said, that sort of ties in with, it's interesting because I am at a point in our next book where, I've been going over some of our cases, even some of the more recent cases that we've received, and a lot of them are these sort of nighttime visitations, very similar to the experiences I've had, where basically the phenomena themselves can present themselves in different ways, but fundamentally, like, the core components are the same. Like these nighttime visitations is the sort of feeling of being observed, strange phenomena happening around them, seemingly unrelated psychic experiences. And so I had sort of been speculating on what the relationship might be between these psychic phenomena and these experiences overall. Whether or not they were an unintentional result, whether or not they were the impetus behind the observation, or maybe the point was to elicit them somehow. As though like these visitations, would free someone's mind in some way to allow psychic experiences. So that's very interesting. Who are you? Well, actually, that's kind of out of order. So, at one point, this would have been a few years ago now, I had a sort of visionary experience where I suddenly became very drowsy, like inexplicably. It was like sudden narcolepsy, like this one singular episode of narcolepsy, and I couldn't help but close my eyes just out of the blue. I was watching my parents' house at the time, and I was on their couch, and I was watching television, and just out of nowhere, I was just hit with this sudden drowsiness, and my eyes almost involuntarily closed. And as soon as they did, I saw rushing towards me this traditional like gray alien face, like cover of Communion, like the Whitley Strieber book, like that kind of face. And it didn't move its mouth or anything, and it just kind of flies up on me in my mind's eye, and it felt like it wasn't a part of me. You know what I mean? It felt like it wasn't something that my mind was generating, and this thing flies up on me out of the darkness, behind my eyes, and without moving its mouth, it just says, "We are you." And as soon as that was done, suddenly, like, I wasn't tired anymore. Like, my eyes just opened immediately, and it was over. And it's one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me. And so, I asked, what does "we are you" mean? And it sounded like it was repeated back. Because I said, "What does that mean?" And then I heard back, "What does that mean?" And then I heard "fact" and "we are people." And so I guess, in that sense, that's kind of comforting. I feel like I'm going to have to think about that to really see what that is. And then you asked again sometime later, "Who are you?" And I heard that again, because at that point I feel like they thought that it had been answered. It's like, "Well, we told you, we are you." That's we already said. What do you hope to learn from us or about us? Deep thoughts is what we heard there. Why do you so often visit when sleeping? No. I may have already mentioned that. I asked about the door moving during our meetup and heard, yeah, or I think you may have heard this, yeah, here. And then why? To be godlike. And that really was never sufficiently answered. I have to wonder if I misheard that. And then when asked, what did it mean when we were told the purpose of the things we've seen in the Kettle Moraine State Forest was to probe, we didn't really get a direct answer immediately. We asked, what did that mean? And we got, "I told you." So they must have felt like that was already answered. What's special about the kettle? We heard the one, "It's looking," and "Path for Humanity." So that's a lot to chew on too. That's very interesting. What's in there? Everything. So I don't know if that's just screwing with us or meant to be deep. What's the point? Love you. So I guess that sort of speaks to the "we are you." And then asking about the connection between consciousness and the paranormal, heard "out there," and then "intuit." Sort of like the verb for intuition. Like learning things through intuition. So yeah, wow, interesting stuff all around. Now, yeah, Kaylee, I wasn't able to keep up kind of in real time with what you were experiencing, but that's, it's interesting that there was something going on there. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, Emily, I don't know, for just the benefit of the video, you want to just talk about that a little bit, because you were...
Yeah, let me look at the notes here.
Sure.
So, I had mentioned Kaylee, that who is, for people who are watching in the future here. Sure. Kaylee, I had said, if you hear anything, comment below, because, it's when you're doing these kind of investigations, it's good to let people know if you heard something, and we can compare notes or whatever, So then at first you said, Kaylee, that you heard an unintelligible female voice, which we had heard also here and there. I'm trying to remember what comments I specifically heard that. I'm having a little trouble remembering that at the moment. And Kaylee mentioned she was listening and watching with a headset, and she heard a definite bang behind her. She wasn't sure if she should keep watching or if it was like from her headset. And I said, stay with us, because, these experiences are good to make note of. And so, she asked if there's a sound and if that was on our side. And it's possible that thing was making a lot of noise. And then Kaylee, you said the sound felt like it was on my right, but over here more than from the headset. And then I asked how you were feeling, and it feels like she said, it feels like I was outside in the heat and there's a cool wind on me, but the air is still.
Interesting.
So, it's hard to say what that could be. I know that you said you had gotten the chills from that free.
I got the chills a few times during this.
So, that could have been very similar to what you were experiencing. And a lot of people do feel temperature shifts with experiences. So, that's interesting that even though you are in Texas, that you felt that. So, thank you for sharing that. It's important to make note of those experiences. But that is what I've heard. Okay,
interesting. So there's one other thing. Well, really two other things.
And if I'm saying anything wrong, Kaylee, let me know.
There are a couple other things that we'll do to close this out. So this is what's known as a troll cross, and you can see it. It's a little intricate sort of cross, and it's made out of iron. And so, traditionally, iron was used to ward off spirits or fairies or the other, And so you couldn't see it, but after I had torn up this bind rune to break that connection, I set the troll cross on top of it. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the remains of this bind rune outside, and we'll just burn it to completely sever that connection, because frankly, once we're done with it, we don't really want anything sticking around.
Yeah.
I'll probably sleep with this troll cross under my pillow tonight, just to be sure, frankly. And so, yeah, I think that we'll get that taken care of. I suppose we could just take the camera with us while we do it real quick, and then that'll pretty much call it a night as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect with this particular experiment, because we'd never really tried anything before. So the results that we had, I think, were very, very promising, and it's definitely given us some direction as far as where to go in some of our investigations. I think so. All right, I'm going to leave this here for a second while we... Oh, I keep doing that. I gotta stop doing that. While we put our boots on. not let it burn.
It's definitely doing an okay job of burning in the snow.
Don't let any of that get away from me. Like I said, I think I need some time to sort of process things. I'm really interested in hearing more of your experience, Kaylee.
Mm-hmm.
So I look forward to, if you kind of want to get, I don't know if you want to, kind of get your thoughts together, maybe, write out sort of what you experienced. We'll certainly go back through everything and watch it again to figure that out. But yeah, I don't know. I think this was a good night. So thank you so much for joining us. I think that anytime we have somebody's conscious attention and their intention sort of in line with ours, it really helps a lot for stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. Yeah, thanks.
Should I hit finish?
Yeah.